The Wise Slave Girl. Long ago, in a vast and prosperous kingdom, there lived a mighty sultan whose word was law. His palace was filled with riches from every corner of the world. Golden lamps from Persia, silken carpets from Samarkand, and pearls from the deep seas of the east. Yet, for all his splendor, the sultan was a man who sought more than wealth. He sought wisdom. One morning, as the sultan sat in his marble hall surrounded by his ministers and courtiers, he overheard talk of a slave girl being sold in the marketplace, one whose price was greater than that of 100 others combined. Intrigued, the sultan raised an eyebrow. "How can one slave girl be worth so much?" he asked. "Your Majesty," said his vizier, bowing low, "they say she is unlike any other, wise, eloquent and noble in manner, though born in bondage." The sultan, curious and somewhat amused, ordered, "Bring her to me at once. I wish to see what makes this girl so exceptional." That very afternoon, the girl was brought before him. She was not adorned in fine silks, nor covered in jewels, yet her presence filled the great hall. Her posture was straight, her eyes calm but alert, and there was a quiet dignity about her that even the sultan could not ignore. The sultan regarded her for a long moment before speaking. "Tell me," he said finally, "why does your price exceed that of so many others?" The girl met his gaze without fear. "Because, Your Majesty," she said softly, "I am distinguished by my intelligence." The sultan leaned forward, a faint smile playing on his lips. "Ah, intelligence. Many boast of it, few possess it. Let us see if yours is true. I will ask you a question, one that no courtier of mine has ever answered to my satisfaction. If you answer correctly, I will grant you freedom. If you fail," he paused, his eyes narrowing, "you shall lose your life." The court grew silent. The air itself seemed to hold its breath. The sultan spoke. "Tell me, what is the most beautiful garment, the most pleasant perfume, the most delicious food, and the softest bed, and the most beautiful country?" The girl bowed her head for a moment, then raised it with confidence. "Your Majesty," she said calmly, "have my things and my horse prepared, for I am leaving this palace as a free woman." A ripple of surprise spread through the hall. Even the sultan sat straighter, intrigued. "The most beautiful garment," she began, "is the shirt of a poor man who owns only one. For he finds it suitable for both winter and summer, and it covers him in all seasons. He values it not for beauty, but for necessity, and in that simplicity lies true beauty." The sultan nodded slightly, his interest growing. "The most pleasant perfume," she continued, "is the scent of a mother, even if she is a poor woman who works as a fire-blower in the public baths. Her fragrance is not from musk or rose oil, but from love and care. It is the perfume of comfort and sacrifice," the court murmured in admiration. "The most delicious food," she said, "is that which one eats when hungry. For the hungry man finds even stale bread to be a feast, and water to be as sweet as honey. It is not the food that brings delight, but the hunger that makes it precious." The sultan's eyes softened as he listened. "The softest bed," she went on, "is the one upon which you sleep with a peaceful heart. If your conscience is clear, even a straw mat feels soft. But if you are unjust, even a bed of gold will prick you like thorns." The sultan was silent now, his expression unreadable. As she began to walk toward the door, the sultan called out, "You have not answered my last question, young woman. What is the most beautiful country?" The girl stopped, turned gracefully, and looked him straight in the eyes. Her voice was firm, and every word rang through the great hall like the toll of a bell. "The most beautiful country," she said, "is the one that is free from tyranny and not governed by ignorant people." The sultan was speechless. Around him, ministers and guards lowered their heads in awe. The truth of her words echoed in the silent hall. At last, the sultan rose from his throne and said quietly, You have answered wisely, and you have spoken with the courage of a free soul. From this moment on, you are no longer a slave. You are free to go wherever you please." The girl bowed gracefully. "Thank you, Majesty," she said, "but know this, freedom is not a gift given by a ruler. It is the right of every human being." With that, she turned and walked out of the palace gates, her head held high, the afternoon sun bathing her in golden light. And the Sultan watched her go, realizing that true nobility did not come from birth or blood, but from the wisdom and dignity within the human heart. For more videos, like and subscribe my channel.